You know, it's amazing how people asking like, wait a minute, they work out with you for kidnappers there. Well, you can see their security is poor, so they needed to do that just to probably, the aim is probably to apprehend the kidnappers right there. But let's see this. Do you think, like looking at the road, we obviously have bushes, and that road does not seem pliable to motorists. Seems like something you have to trek into. So that brings me to the question of if really they are kidnappers who kidnap people and they have to walk the people they kidnapped into their den, it means you cannot compare a vehicle, or you cannot compare probably the strength of a security expert or a security personnel, you know, having to pursue to actually, you know, apprehend these kidnappers. But you know, this is a good thing. But I don't know if you understand where I'm trying to drive at. Like if they have to go on foot after kidnapping, they have to go on foot into the den that far. Then why is it that we find it difficult to actually apprehend our kidnappers?
Okay. Now I think first and foremost, kidnappers, they use a den somewhere that might not be attractive for people to want to go to. Okay, so it's like a safe haven for them. All right. So, and then that way too, they build their kind of security around, and then they're able to take control of that space. So, like we've seen in that video, that space is not motorable. It's not motorable. But I would have still expected that the police would do better. We're going to, I remember way back in the 80s growing up, we used to watch SWAT. I still do a lot of security movies. I'm telling you, but I do a lot of that. I watch FBI, FBI, Law and Order, CIA movie and all of that. So when you see the way they arrive at crime scene, you understand? You know, you feel like going to be part of this security outfit. You understand? You know, that demo, pardon me to use that word. Okay. There's a way they arrive and all of that. Even you, the criminals, they feel they don't grab you. So you see that professionalism, that act, that, focus, that discipline. There's a way they arrive. Even if they have to use chopper and all of that. You see, I am taking aback that even at this time and age, we are still very good with our police operation. We are terribly good. I mean, even police vehicles say they spoil for road. Police vehicles they spoil for road.
Sure.
So now, how is that kind of vehicle supposed to engage criminals on the road? Okay, now going back to such whatever, and sometimes too, it could also be okay if it's not motorable, then maybe you want to move in quietly. But not what we saw there. They were just lackadaisical, just they didn't even look determined like they're going for any kind of operation. It's not business-like. They just, it's terrible. But then, about time that we should improve security facility in this country.
Yeah.
We should invest in technology. I've been saying this for so long. Security has gone far beyond the manual power and all of that. No. That should be backup. First and foremost, it should be technology. Drone can go ahead.
Yeah. Rather than, taking the risk of going yourself.
As a matter of fact, if going to the security den, you need to take, camera should go ahead of you. So you can look at the, scenario and all of that. And when you're going for that operation, there should be a kind of a live feed. So there are people that even eyes for you.
Yeah.
They can, because of camera position everywhere, they can be, the control room can be speaking to you. So they are seeing what you're not seeing.
Exactly.
They are leading you on where to go, how to turn. If the criminals are escaping, they are seeing them. They're saying go right, go left. These are what technology can do. So we should invest in technology in battling our security challenges. Okay? It is important. If there's a camera coverage in that end, right? So the police can have a live feed. Okay? They can tap into it and have a live feed. What are we doing with the satellite? We can connect to it and get, images. All right? So that is important until we begin to understand with the need to invest in technology, in upping our security architecture and our security network. We will keep doing this shameful act because it is horrible that this age and time we are still cool with our policing.
So that means this method of trying to apprehend kidnappers is actually the wrong way. It's
crude. It's horrible. It's cool. It's horrible. We can do better. For example, now, except you want to operate codedly or rather quietly, If not, there should be a chopper hovering around.
Yeah.
A chopper should be hovering around. So those guys already know that they are in for it. So then those on the land, there's a way they approach and all of that. And then that's how it works.
I want to even quickly ask, just very quickly, so we can go to the next one. Is obviously they were filming this, and something came to me like, why are they always filming this? Why do they film this? Is it a political thing, or they just really wanted to let Nigerians know that they are working? Because I do not see reasons why they are doing this. But do you think there's actually a genuine reason why this is actually out to the public?
Okay, it's two ways. Sometimes somebody could be filming it secretly. It's possible. And then secondly too, there's also an imperative need for you to tell your story.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when you put in some effort, service into something, and then you're not telling your story, you allow a particular narrative to dominate the scenario. You could be pushed off. As much as I criticize Nigerian police, but the truth is they also do some hard work. Because first and foremost, you must understand this, that their job demand requires their life being on the line. So it is possible any police officer could wake up one morning and die that same day. That is the demand of their job. So they do a lot. And then they apprehend criminals, and they also have a good story to tell. So sometimes they need to tell their story, but an average Nigerian is overwhelmed by the naughtiness of the police. So nobody gets to talk about the good work the police does. Nobody gets to talk about the sacrifice of the police. Nobody gets to talk about the service of the police. All we see about the police is the corruption of the police, the ineptitude of the police, and then the crudeness of the police and all of that. Yes, we must talk about that because it's quite stinking. All right, it's dirty. But at the same time, they're also doing a whole lot, and nobody has given them credit for the good thing they do. So sometimes they need to tell their own story too.
Okay, let me just say what most of the things under the comment section is like literally they do not need the video, because you showing us a video of you going in there to go look for kidnappers, you're going to Kidnappers then, there were little or no congratulations or yes, you are doing something, because this is not what we want to know. We want to know, were you able to apprehend them? When you apprehend them and there's a video of apprehending them. Now that is what we want to see. Not that you going into the bush or into the forest. Trying to do that, because security wise, it's not something you should even bring to the public. It just shows you're giving them, how will I put it? You're trying to make them being careful the next time. It just means that you've just exposed them and tell them, I know this part we have to look for another way to go about it. You're giving them ways.
Like I said, I agree with you because anything security has to be coded.
Yeah,
I agree with you on that. But like I also say, you also need to, because perspective is everything, perception is everything. So if narrative is building against you, you should find a way to tell your story. Because, for example, people will say, when armed robbers come, we don't go see police. And when they don't go, then we go see police. So if police are going into the den of kidnappers, putting their lives on the line, and then we should see that too. Okay, it will build narrative. It will help people's orientation about the police. It will help people's acceptance of the police, and so it's here and there. Okay, so I'm
sorry to cut you. I feel like where I would have understood why this video is out is if you're taking it from the top, which I know it's a drone. Yeah. But there's somebody going to look for kidnapper and you're carrying photo video. Are you sure you're going to look for kidnapper?
That's unprofessionalism. And like I always said, it's also possible for someone to be videoing it secretly and leak it out. That's also possible.
Okay, let's put it at that. Let's try. Okay, the call has dropped. I wanted to pick a call at least before we go to the next topic. But let me just go to the next one. This one is, of course, about a road. This is the first time we're talking about infrastructure or, social amenities. But this one, it has to do with our road that a lot of travelers fly every day. And this is a video showing the condition of Benin Amo Road. Of course, if you're going to Anambra State or you're coming from Delta State, you have to encounter this. So let's watch the video and see how bad this has gotten. Okay, I was about to, ask you more. Well, anyways, I do not know. In just few minutes, what do you think about this? It's not like every traveler, every road user on that road, Bini or Delta, on everyone keeps making videos just to show that this road are not getting any better. They're actually getting worse. What can we do? And this is federal roads.
Okay, let me start by saying Nigerians are hypocrites.
Wow.
On one hand, if the roads are bad, we cry like this, and we should cry, exposing, the shenanigan of our deplorable roads. We'll cry. But if, on the other hand, government is fixing road, we'll be saying our road will chop. There are other things to tackle. People are hungry. There is insecurity. You are fixing road. We will use the bad roads to say government is being negligent, not doing roads. The good roads are being fixed. We should use it to blackmail government. So what do we want?
Please give example of the good roads that they have.
Okay, fine. If government is fixing road now, the most controversial road, highway, super highway in Nigeria today is the Lagos-Calabar highway. All right. Now, it's ongoing, it's running, despite the economic value that goes with that super highway and all of that. You see critics come out every day on social media, even as of today with the sister station. All right. It was still like a tug of war on TV today. People come out embarrassing government over it, blackmailing government over it, and say this is not our priority, and blah, 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 blah. They talk it down, forgetting the economic value of that road. All right. That will have been a super road that will serve the nation. Now, when we see the bad roads too, we condemn it. The Buhari administration came and then they chalked on over 600 federal roads. All right. And then what are people saying? Now, road will be chop. It was being away. Now, train will be chop. And all that. People seem to forget the benefit and the beauty of infrastructure. All right. Because they want to blackmail. But when they see the ones that are bad, they call out government. You see, there was one of the times I was in South Africa. There was a time I was on Pretoria, and I saw the quality of the roads, the network, the infrastructure. I was transfixed. I stood on the road there, and I was weeping deep down inside of me, crying for my nation. When we get to the airport, from the airport, there's a train station that takes you to town. You understand? You see the network, you see the infrastructure, you see all of that transportation system, and then you weep for the nation, for our nation. Okay? So what I'm trying to say here is this. I'm just trying to expose the hypocrisy of Nigerians that will condemn government when the roads are bad, will blackmail government when they are fixing road. Now that is bad. But now going back to that story, several roads are deplorable and it's horrible. How can, you see, I still don't get it. Oftentimes I repeat myself with this same line. In this age and time, we see you have such good underdevelopment. How could such a major road be that bad, like what we saw on TV? Where are the managers? Where are the managers? There are over 2,000 federal roads. Over 2,000 federal roads. So government keep working and all of that. And in particular, when it's raining season, they can't really walk. Okay. But the question I want to ask is, if the dry season, how fast do they walk? That's the hypocrisy there, because it's still part of the correction system. When you walk slowly, you make more money. You understand? What should have taken you 3-4 months, you take it for like 18-24 months, you make more money. Because they don't have this, they have the country at heart. Now that is that. But between Edo and then Delta State, because Benin Agbo is between Edo and Delta State. Now, the two states are linked to the federal. They are APC states. So what then can they do? They can fix the road. They can come together, work together and fix the road, like what Lagos and Ogun State is doing at that Ekpe axis. They built one massive road there. There's that Ekpe connection to Ogun State. Go see what is done there. Masterpiece. All right. These are two governments coming together of the same party, even beyond party lines. For crying out loud, we are first human beings before politicians. All right. So you can work together for the good of the people. And they are towing it. So you make money. You make your money back. So if Delta State and Edo State government can come together and do this thing, then they can recoup their money back from the federal government. It happens. States work on federal roads and they get their money back. And they shouldn't have much problem with doing that because they are both APC. All right. The another thing you can also do is this tax credit scheme. When Fashola was the Minister of Works, and then he introduced that, that platform whereby you could get a company to fix road and then put their tax in it under the Buhari administration. It's called about something like a tax credit scheme. So if the federal government is saying they have many things to spend money on and then prioritizing that road, so an organization could come, like what Dangote did with Apapa Road. Okay, so you come fix it and then you trade your tax for it. So go lobby. Governors should not just sit in the office. Go out there and work. All right, sometimes work hand in hand with the federal. If the minister of Umar is busy. David Umar is busy. The Minister of Work is busy across the length of the country. But there are too many grounds to cover. All right. So for you to be comfortable with that road, you should do so. They have senators. They have House of Rep members. These are part of the things they do. Constituency projects. You must attract federal government to your constituency. These are things they can lobby for. These are things they can push. Things they can drive. They should be able to do this.
Okay.
That's called being responsible in office.
True, very true. I totally agree with you. I just want to pick some calls. That's why, because our time is almost up.
Okay.
This one says, there is no king without a prophet. It was King David and Prophet Nathan, Ahab and Elijah, Saul and Samuel. It is the prophet's duty to praise them when they do good and to criticize them when they do otherwise. This is IK from Lagos. IK, thank you very much for that message. Let's pick this call. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. What's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm Shegun Williams from Ikorodu.
Okay, sir. Yes, well, listen.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I just want to your guest there. I'm a little bit different from what he's saying regarding the road. You know, my suggestion is this government is just a wasteful government. Why do you want to go and fix do Calabar super highway when we have thousands of federal roads? The chunk of money they want to use to build that road should have channeled it to fix up virtually all the federal roads. Most federal roads are bad. It's just a common sense. They can toll it, privatize it so that they can be PPP. I get what I'm saying?
Yes, please.
Instead of using about 7 trillion to do Lagos Calabar Express, and you want to do another Lagos to Sokoto. It's just wasteful exercises as far as I'm concerned. We have so many roads across nation who are terribly bad. Very bad. So our government should just be thinking straight. Not all these politically motivated roads that used to just corner money. That's just my own contribution. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Shegun.
Sorry, please permit me to respond to my brother there.
Yes.
I appreciate your sound argument, but you must also look at it from another angle. Just talk about economy now. You look at macroeconomy, you look at microeconomy. Okay, so you don't build a nation on microeconomy. All right, you must be viable with your macroeconomy. Now it's good, and the government is not being absent in other roads. They are chewing and working at the same time. They are doing that, but you also need mega roads like this Lagos Calabar Expressway, because it's passing through like over 8 roads. All right, now they just added Edo State to it now. Okay, so it's passing through like over 9-10 roads. Now what it does is it opens up values, economic values, real estate, and a whole lot. It shortens travel time. Okay, now you can do Calabar to Lagos in a few hours, unlike doing almost a whole day. Do you understand? So you cannot live in Ondo and work in Lagos. Do you understand? There's a whole lot of benefit to it. It opens up, community, it brings development, it brings investors, it brings tourism. So at the end of the day, it has a very weighty economic value that some other federal roads will not give you. So it adds to our GDP. It adds to it brings employment. Thousands of millions of people will be employed. So there are diverse advantage to such mega projects. Even the Sokoto Badagry Expressway, you also mention of, that road has a stretch of over 13 dams that will also be worked on. Now, working on those dams will improve our electricity provision. So there are mega opportunities to these things. You just don't, we cannot be so minute that we just look at the small things alone. You look at the small things, you also give attention to the big ones. You understand? So you juggle the two. That's what you do.
Okay, so I think I understand where this person is coming, because as a Nigerian, I've applied that route growing up as a child, and I understand where it's coming from.
Yeah, I do understand what you're saying.
We have a problem here. We're supposed to solve this problem before going to provide solutions.
But they're not neglecting those small problems too. They're also attending to it.
No, that's the thing. Because if there is an attending to it, then this would not be an outcry for years. It's been years. I hope we know that particular road has been every time, even as a child growing up, the road has been bad. There was no day you had to have a smooth road. I can remember then Mazi was saying, if he was here, he used to say that sometimes you fly that road about 3 hours, 4 hours, you're already where you are. But now you can't even be there 6 hours, 7 hours.
Yes,
You're
that's
still
the question I need to ask.
Yeah, you're
Chris.
still on
Just
the
ask
road because
question.
it's getting bad and it's taking hours,
Mhm.
which could be more productive for road users. They are business people
Yeah.
who ply their road. So I think I know where you're going
Yeah,
to.
I get that.
But I'm only saying, rather than abandoning a problem that's been there for years,
Yeah.
people who have come and gone know about this problem, and you're creating another one. You can maintain one, and you're creating another. What gives us the assurance that you're creating this one, it will become a double problem again for Nigerians? So it's just, I think it's just a thing of,
Okay.
they don't know
There's a
what to do
Jebba
about
road.
it.
There's a Jebba road from that along that Kogi side to Abuja. For many years, it was a moribund road. It was a death trap. You can't travel that road and not that your vehicle don't get damaged. It was horrible. It was like hell trapped. You understand? But the Buhari government fixed it. And while they were fixing that road, Nigerians were like that is not our problem. That's not our problem. That's not our problem. That's why they found that vehicles will break down there. You will spend 4 days there and all of that. But they did it anyway. We are enjoying that road now because it's like an express now. Do you understand? What I'm trying to say is this. You can chew and walk at the same time.
Yeah.
If you are so concentrating on the minor roads and you completely ignore the mega roads, you cannot compete with global economy. You can't.
Yes.
You can't. You'll be small forever. Do you understand? So you have to do the big ones too, as much as you do the small ones. So it's about, that's the competition with budgeting. That's why they've married, for example, now they've captured that to do our federal roads, we need some trillions of naira. You're not going to get that in one circle of government. It's over time. And I also agree that like that road you spoke about that it's been bad for many years. That's the negligence of governance. In fact, you'll be shocked that it could have been awarded several times. We've seen that too. Go about some of our roads here. You see roads that have been awarded several times and then they're not doing it. It's part of the corruption in the system.
Of course.
The Lagos Ibadan Expressway. Look how many years. Obasanjo has been working on it. You understand? It's taking over 20 years.
Yes, to do.
What are they fixing? Is it the road to heaven? Do you understand?
Chris,
That is the corruption in the system.
I like to, we can't pick any, we can't do any question because of time. Let's
Okay.
watch our time. Please, I just have to pick this viewer call. Person has been calling. Oh, has dropped. We have to just go because there's the next program coming up pretty soon, so we have to go. I wish this was the first topic we actually took. To be honest,
because we've been going on and on. We're not actually proposed solutions.
Yeah,
to some of this road. So we really,
it's the weakness of those in power.
And we need to do something about that. Anyway, thank you so much, Chris. I told you, you are going to shake this table alone. And well, I and Gratitude were here for you, so we were holding the table. But anyway, thank you so much for coming to the show.
Thank you for having me.